Hello my beautiful sweet queens, you're welcome back to another interesting tutorial. So today we're going to be making this beautiful dress. We're going to be using this fabric. We're going to be using this fabric. This is 5 yards of crepe fabric. You can use Ankara for the design, but I'm using this crepe. Then you will need your machine lining, okay? Then you also need boning for the style. This boning is optional. You can actually not put the bone and it will still look okay. All right. So you will also need your interfacing, which I'm going to be using this soft paper stick. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is just to cut out the back. I'm going to fold the lining into two. So let me rub my guideline so that I can have a starting point line. Like I said, this is the back. So this is going to be the shoulder. So the first thing I want to do is to measure down the waist length. So for this, my waist length is 17, but because this is the back, I'm going to be using 16 for the waist length. Okay, so I'll measure 16 like this. Then I'll also measure the length of the armhole. For the armhole, I'm using 9. Okay, and I will extend these lines. So this is the starting point line. This is the armhole length, which gives you your chest line, and then this is the waist line. Okay. Come to the waistline. On the waistline, you are going to go inward by 0.75, and then you're going to connect it to nothing at the upper part. From 0.75 to nothing. Okay. Then you're going to put your zip allowance. I want the zip allowance to be 1.2 inches. So I'll put 1.2 and then 1.2. Then I'm going to connect together. So this space here now is the zip allowance. So here I'm going to put the shoulder measurement divided by 2. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 16 divided by 2. That will be 8 inches. I'll put 8 inches. And I'm going to roll it to the chest line. Then I'm going to finish the armhole this way. Hope you are following. Can you see? So on the chest line, I'm going to put the bust circumference divided by 4. So the bust circumference is 42 divided by 4. No, so my measurement is starting from this line. Can you see? Starting from this second line. So my bust circumference is 42 divided by 4. That will be 10.5. I'll mark 10.5, and then I'll put my seam allowance. Seam allowance of 1.5 inch. Then on the waistline, I'm going to put the waist circumference divided by 4. My waist circumference is 33 divided by 4. That will be 8.25. I'll mark it. Then there will be that of 1 inch. And then you put your seam allowance. Using 1.5 for the seam allowance. Then I'm going to connect it together like this. Can you see? Then we are going to cut this out. Okay, but before you cut it out, because this is an off-shoulder dress, so starting from, I chose to start from the beginning so that you can understand. So because it's an off-shoulder dress, I'm going to measure how off I want it. I want to off it by 6 inches. So I'll measure 6 inches like this. Can you see? Just like this, okay? Then if I'm cutting from this line. But because it's an off-shoulder dress, we don't usually leave the shoulder like this. So here, from this point, I'm going to just come in by 1.5 inch. I'll come in by 1.5 inch from here to here, 1.5, and then I'll get a new armhole. Hope it's not confusing. It's pretty simple. Just follow instruction. Can you see? So before you cut this out, I want you to note your under bust line. Okay, so for my under bust is 14.5. So I'll mark the 14.5 and I'll roll it. So just draft your basic bodice. After you are done drafting your basic bodice, determine how off you want it. I'm offing mine by 6 inches, so that ends the reason for this line. Then I said you should also note your underbust line on this pattern. Okay, this place is the waistline, so we are cutting now. We are cutting from the waistline all around here. Don't forget I came in by 1.5 inch to get this off. You're going to fold the fabric into two this way. Then you bring the back pattern that you drafted. So you're going to place the back on top of it. You will leave an extension here. The extension that you're going to leave in front can be as wide as you want it, or it can just be of this width that you have here. So just measure it, then you put it here first, okay? From this point, you're going to come up by 1.5 inch that you're going to be using to create the rope casing, okay? So you roll it all the way. So you're just going to extend it with 1.5. That 1.5 is just the what you're going to be using to create the elastic casing. Another thing you need to do, this extension here can be the width of from here to this point, or you make it wider depending on how full you want it around that chest area. So the extension that I have for mine here is 17 inches. Okay. Then we are going to cut it out exactly the same length. Then I'm going to tell you what to do to it later. So after you're done cutting it out, you cut the armhole, the side seam remain the same. Then when you are done, take note. At this lower end, this is where your underbust length stop. You can see the yellow chalk that will rule for the underbust. So just mark it on the fabric. Mark it on the fabric like this. Then you are going to come down with 1/2 inch and slightly blend it back this way, and this is what I have done so that the side seam can be equal. So this is what we have after cutting it out. So the next thing you want to do here, you are going to sew with 1 inch all the way to this point. You stop 2.5 inches before you get to the top. Just sew all the way to this one, back stitch and stop, and then we're going to do that on the sewing machine. So the other thing that you need to cut out is the band, that place that there is bony around the tummy area. So bring your lining and pay attention to the way you're going to do that. You're going to fold the lining into two. Measure 5.5 inches. Measure 5.5 inches upward. Measure 5.5 inches upward like this. 5.5 like this. Then you're going to bring the back again, but this time around you're going to align the zip allowance with the folded edge. Just align it this way. Can you see? You will ensure the waistline is matching with the line that you roll. This line that you roll, ensure the waistline for the back is matching it like this. Just trace the side seam like this. Then make sure you align their center together here as well. Then from this waistline, you are going to form like a V shape like this. Just form like a V shape to this point. Just a V shape like this. Can you see? You can use your ruler to roll it. So you are going to go ahead and cut this. So can you see? Then you cut it straight to the underbust line like that, 1 inch above the underbust line, just 1 inch. Can you see the way it is? So this is the underbust part. So this is what you're going to do. This one, you notice that we added 1 inch for the dart at the back. We don't need that for the front, so trim 1 inch out like this and cut it out. like this. Can you see? Then you're going to be using this to cut the fabric, and you ensure it's unfold when you're cutting it. Then I'll also cut the back. So I'll cut the back itself. So if you don't want the back neckline to be straight like this, you can make it like a round shape, which is what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to give the back a round shape. So from the beginning, I'll come down by 1.5 and connect it back to the side. Just this way. Okay? If you don't want it straight. So we are done with the pattern. So fuse it with your interfacing. So this fabric is folded into 4. This place right here is unfold. Here is open. The next thing I want to do is just to multiply my waist circumference by 2.5 because I want it to have gathers around the waistline. So you multiply the waist circumference by 2.5. My waist circumference is 33. Multiply by 2.5. 33 times 2.5, that will give me 82.5. So I'm going to divide this by 6.2 here because it's folded into 4. So we want to cut flea, like a full 360-degree flea. So 82.5 divided by 6.28 give me 13.1. So let's just say 13. So I'm going to rotate 13 now. From here, just rotate 13. Next, I'm going to measure the length that I want for the skirt. So just place your waistline here. For the waistline, we use 16. So put the 16 here and measure the length that you want. Place the waist length here, then you measure the length that you want. I want it to be 44. This is 44 right here. So I'm going to go back to the tip of the triangle. I'll go back to the tip like this. I'll measure to that 44, which is now 41. I'll rotate whatever is there. So I'm going to rotate 41 all around. 41, 41, 41. So I'll go ahead, I'll cut it out. Then you're going to cut the radius out as well. So you remove this. So when you open it, you have a full flame, but then it's divided into 2, like half circle. So just pick one. One will be the front, and then the other will be the back. So that one that is going to be the back. So this is one now. And then this is another one. The one that is going to be the back, you have to slit it because it's going to have zip allowance. So you slit the center back like so. It's going to have zip allowance at the back, so slit it. So can you see? So you're going to cut lining for it as well. Your lining can be in circle, or it can just be one straight cut that you're going to gather inside. Okay, anyone that is convenient for you. So you can decide to have your lining like a straight cut, which is what I'm going to just do.
The wideness of my lining is ×3 my waist
Make sure the lining
circumference.
is shorter than the fabric. So I'm making the lining to be shorter. Making the line to be shorter by 2 inches. So my lining is just going to be a straight cut, which I'm just going to pleat around the waistline. So the next thing I'm going to cut is the sleeve. So this fabric is into 4 folds. The length is 18 inches, and then the width is 25 inches. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to bring the front panel, the ruche around the bust. So you're just going to match their sides together like this. Match their sides together like this. Can you see? Then trace out the shape of the armhole. You know the reason why we are using the front? Because this front already contain the casing allowance. It already contain the casing allowance, okay? So you just cut out this shape, and that's all. The sleeve is ready. Can you see? So that is it. This is the sleeve. I don't want this savage part, so I'm going to trim it. So we are going to be sewing this part and creating elastic casing, which we're going to be inserting elastic. Here also you create elastic casing, then you insert elastic. Okay, then we have the back. This is the back. When you open the back, this is how it looks. Can you see? Then we have lining for it. So let's start with this.
This is the upper part in front, that ruched part.
So just like I explained earlier, we're going to make our stitch like this with 1 inch.
Before you start stitching with 1 inch, you're going to leave 2.5 inches upward like so.
So once you're done, you're going to fold it this way. Can you see? Just fold half in and then half over like this. You make your stitch here with 1/2 inch like so. Then you do the second side. So once this is done, the next thing is to hem this upper part. This upper part, you're going to be folding 1/2 inch in and like 3/4 over. You understand? So that you can create channel for the rope. So this is what we have. So you're going to create rope that you're going to be inserting here. So this is my rope. Let me bring the second one. I've done one. So the width of this rope is 1.5. So just bend the starting point like this. Then you fold it this way. Can you see? Then you fold it and make your stitch. So you're going to insert the rope inside the channel. So you just tag it down at this armhole side. Insert the second rope to the other side as well. All right, so we are done with this upper part. All you have to do is just to drag the rope and tie it however you want it. So the next thing, we are going to work with the band. So this is the band. This is the band. So you bring, this is the right side. You're going to pleat the lower part of this ruched side on the upper part as well. So just notch the center. Notch the center. Then match the center together.
After pinning the center together, you're going to grab their side, you're going to mash it together. But before you start pleating the ruche part on the band, leave ½ inch like this. Can you see? Then you now start your pleat from there. The reason why you pin the center is just for everything to balance very well. You actually want the center to be at the center, not shifting beyond where it's supposed to be, okay?
You have the option of pleating or gathering it, anyone that is convenient for you. I'm pleating mine. So once you are done fixing it like this, you bring the lining, place the right side of the lining on top of it like this. Then you are going to stitch here together, and also you're going to stitch the side, just the side here and also the side here. So now this is it. This is how it's looking. This is from the wrong side. This is how it's looking from the wrong side. This line that you're seeing here is just where the bone channel is going to be. So from the center, just mark the width of your bone however you want it. Then I space mine with 1.5 inches and just draw the line like so. So from here to here is about almost ½ inch, but not exactly up to ½ inch, because that is the width of the bone I want to use. So I'm just going to be inserting the bone. So space it, put another line like so, like so. So I'm going to iron it nicely now, and I'm going to now come and stitch here, then insert the bone. So I'm done creating the channel for the casing. So I'm done creating the channel. So I'll just cut the bone according to their sizes. I'll make it shorter. I'll just make it shorter by maybe 0.75 inch, so that by the time I'm sewing, the down part is not going to obstruct the sewing. Just iron it so that it's straight. That's how you're going to insert the bone inside the casing. So for the back, I'm going to stitch the that. I'm going to so this is the front. We are done inserting the bone inside, and then this is how it's looking. The bone is right there. So the next thing you want to do is just to place front and back together. Place the front and back together like this. Can you see? Place them together, and then you are going to close the side. Make sure you confirm your measurements before you close the side. Then when you are done, you're going to place the back lining on top of it this way. The right side of the lining is facing the front. So when you turn it, this is how it's going to look. So the next thing is just to turn the zipper allowance part. So just flip it like this and turn the zipper side. So next thing, just flip it like this. Turn the zipper side as well as the neck point. Okay. It's done like this. You go ahead, you iron it, and then we are going to attach the down part to it. So this is the flame. You are going to join the sides together. But I think I would like mine to have pockets. So cut out the pockets. So measure 1.5 inches downward from the top. We are going to stitch the pocket to the sides. So when you're done fixing the pocket, the next thing you want to do is just to close the side of the flay so that it becomes one long something, you get? Like the way it is right here. So the next thing you want to do now is just run gather stitch around the upper part, and you're going to pull your gather to the waist circumference. When you're done pulling the gather to the waist circumference, the next thing you're going to do is just to attach the flay to the upper body. Please ensure you align the center front of the flay together with the center front of the upper body. So then you align the joining on the side of the flay together with the side seam of the upper body. Please take note of that. So I'm going to plait the lining on top of it. So just open it up like this. Then place the lining right on top this way. And you're going to pleat. So when you are done doing it, this is how it's going to look. So the next thing you have to do is just to join the center back and fix the zipper. So from the waistline, you measure 9 inches downward, and then you are closing the center back, and then you fix the zipper. Is for you to create elastic casing for the lower part as well as the upper part. So this is the sleeve. We are done with the bodice. So just bend it like this, and then you sew. To insert elastic inside the casing. So for the upper part, the width of my elastic is going to be 8 inches. It's just going to be 8 inches. Then for the lower part, I'm going to round it where I think the sleeve will stop. So whatever it is, I'll cut it out. So for the upper part, the width of my elastic is 8 inches.
When you're done attaching the elastic to both the upper part and the lower part, the next thing is just to close the side like this.
So now you're going to fix the sleeve to the dress. So this joining for the sleeve, aligning with the side seam. Then from there, you sew to the right and sew to the left. So just end the down part like so. I'm using this medium to give shout out to all my channel supporters. Thank you so much for being so sweet. I love you. Thank you for being part of this channel supporter. Thank you. You too, you can become part of this channel supporter by clicking that join button next to the subscriber button. All right. So if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I put up a new tutorial. I'll see you next time. Stay sweet. This is so pretty and I love it. See the fullness. Just look at the fullness. See how firm it is here. It's so beautiful. That's the back. And see the pockets. See the pockets. I love it so much.